Stopping by my website. My name is Scott Krietchman, and I'm running as an independent candidate for the mayoral election for 2021. Nope, you don't know me. I'm not all over the media. I'm not all over the news. I haven't served in any public office. I have not been in any politics. I am not a millionaire. I am not a billionaire. I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Staten Island. I went to college in the Bronx, and I live in Manhattan, and I care about New York City. Why am I running? Because we need new energy and new spirit for New York City. We need to go forward into the future together.
Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. In this new today's video, it's going to be a brand new. It's going to be another video, part of my video series, breaking up the two-party duopoly. And in this video series, and as you may remember for the previous one where I promoted Stacey Pressman, the Libertarian nominee running for mayor of New York City, there's actually another independent candidate running for mayor of New York City, and his name is let me see, he should be somewhere. There he is. His name is Scott Krietchman. I could be pronouncing that wrong, but he's running for mayor of New York City as an independent. And as you watched in the intro, and as the title said, he is running for mayor of New York City. He's a founder, he's a CEO, and a former owner of the Fresh Grill Cafe. And as you may know, for the reason of his run, he wants to make New York City work again, and this is overall his campaign website. And I, just like the other candidates I promoted on this channel and in this video series, I will link his the link to his campaign website will be in the description below, so you guys can get to know him. And you never know, you might consider voting for him as your first choice as the next mayor of New York City. If you live in New York, take some time and do your research about him on his campaign website. I will provide you all the resources to actually to know more about him, to know about his platform. And and in this video, I'll be going into some of his policies and where he stands on certain issues. And you never know, he might be a candidate you might be looking into voting for in this upcoming mayoral election in New York City, which is scheduled to actually be on November 2nd, 2021. So as Christopher stated in the video, he believes it's time to cure New York City. My vision is to unite all the communities of New York City, using kindness and empathy as a guide to better understand how to solve the problems in each community. I believe we must all take action to save ourselves and rebuild our city. If we do not do it, then they will. We will fix our foundations and build upon 4 key pillars: basic human rights and needs, public health and wellness, community and culture, ethics and communications. We will raise the minimum standard of living and make New York City work, because it's 2021 and New Yorkers must have their needs met, and things must work well in order to fix and bring our city into the 21st century. And New Yorkers can achieve their goals and become who they want to be. No New Yorkers will ever go without through the new NYC's Future Act. Then our reforms will last. And that's right there. He really, you can tell from the video that he's very passionate. He knows New York City. He lived here all his life. He knows the people. He knows the culture, and that's important as a leader. If you're very experienced, if you know the people in New York City, that makes you very experienced to actually hold this type of job, and he holds that characteristic as a leader. He knows the people, and honestly, he would make a great leader as well. And like what he said in the video that you watched in the intro of my video, is that it's time for new leadership. It's time for new ideas, new fresh faces to actually shake up, to actually make New York a better place for everyone, that will focus on basic human rights and needs that he wants to focus on, and even public health and wellness. And as you know about him as a leader, now since you know a little about him as a candidate, um, let's go into of like who is he as a person, and what leadership what is leadership to me. There is a video on his campaign website, and he does have a YouTube channel. I will link his YouTube channel in the description and in the comment section, just like just like his campaign website. I will link everything in the description below. I'm not gonna play the video right now. I'll let you guys to watch it yourselves. And about Christopher Scott Krietchman, he's a visionary, he's a futurist, he's an innovator, he's an advisor, he's an operator, he is a developer, and he's an activist. Chris is a health and wellness entrepreneur who's politically independent, who's a politically independent mayoral candidate who does not care about blue or red, but cares about the neighbors of New York City. He has 41 years of being a New Yorker and 30 years of being a health and wellness entrepreneur. Chris's entrepreneurial interest began with putting up Christmas lights in his neighborhoods as a 10-year-old. Chris's interest in health and wellness began in bodybuilding as when he was 10 years old. Chris's interest in political activism started when he was 10 years old, when he was fighting against racism, anti-Semitism, and bullying. Chris entered his first bodybuilding competition in his early teens, which started a professional career that lasted 15 years. His educational years were spent in medical and business studies, focusing on biology, chemistry, and finance. After an injury and no longer being able to compete, he started the daily delivery meal program business in 2008 and operated until 2012, while still addressing his ailments with alternative treatments and therapies. Chris is known for his discipline, endurance, relentlessness, and focus. In 2013, he started working on a health-oriented project, which became I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, officially launching it in January of 2016. In the course of roughly 8 years since he started working on the relevant project, Chris threw over 200 health and wellness parties and events, built diverse multicultural teams, empowered many different communities, built relationships, overcame health issues, and kept moving forward. Chris is tough, fun, loving, and 40 years old, the perfect combo for today's social impact entrepreneur. My New York City story. I was born in Brooklyn and raised in Staten Island to a second-generation Russian Jewish New Yorker, Dr. Raymond S. Krietchman, and a second-generation Italian Catholic New Yorker, Angela Krietchman. I attended Catholic school, where I experienced anti-Semitism, bullying, and toxic behavior from classmates and priests. At 10 years old, I put 40,000 Christmas lights on my parents' house, which got us into the Staten Island Advanced newspaper, starting a business that lasted 22 years. I also went to a weight loss camp where I learned nutrition and exercise. I started a life of bodybuilding. After seeing Pumping Iron, I figured muscles would give me the confidence and charisma to make friends and help keep always the bullies and keep away always the bullies. When I was 14, I discovered New York's nightlife, where all the different New York cultures in the world mix, hooking me up on the city's magic. This was also when I became aware of New York's complex social structures, the biases towards the outer boroughs, and the toxicity of racism and classism. This discovery of how New York and the world really worked was a dark, sunny day for me, shedding light on the paradox of New York. At age 18, I attended Manhattan College pre-med. However, I quickly realized I wasn't happy and had a nervous problem followed by a suicide attempt, which I thankfully survived. In the process of healing, I realized that many of my issues stemmed from societal ills and the way I was treated growing up. This was the beginning of me understanding the importance of kindness and communication. Through this process of understanding and the experience I gained from several entrepreneurial endeavors, I created Welver in an effort to make positive human interaction the central point of health. And wow, just wow. He has a lot of experiences. He did so much stuff in his life. He did many things in his life, and that's important for any person. And honestly, if you're able to do a lot of things, if you know what it's like to actually take risk and do a lot of things that helped you become a great leader, then he has all the qualifications that he needs to lead New York City back to greatness. He has all of it. He knows how to he as it's stated, he knows the importance of kindness and communication. And honestly, you need communication. You need people. You need to be able to effectively communicate with others if you're going to be an elected official. You have to play politics with them to advance your own legislation, and that's important. He knows all that. He knows how to work with all people. He doesn't care if you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat. He just wants to get things done to make New York City a better place for all New Yorkers, and that's what his story is all about. And and he knows how to make positive human interaction, and it goes back to communication. He knows how to get things done. He proved that. Let me see. He was a health and wellness entrepreneur. He was able to build businesses and that ultimately it built diverse multicultural teams. He worked alongside diverse groups that was able to make life better for everyone. He learned how to overcome health issues, and that's all the characteristics of being a leader. He has the experiences. He knows what it's like to to lead others, and he empowered many other different communities. And honestly, in my opinion, that is a great characteristic of being an excellent leader. And I would say he would also be a good leader, just like Stacey Pressman, the Libertarian nominee of New York City, running for mayor of New York City as a Libertarian nominee. They would both make great mayors, and it's entirely up to you who you decide. But honestly, if you really want change, vote for either Stacey Pressman or Chris as our maybe first choice or second choice vote. It's you have the power to actually bring positive and real change in New York City. If you just stop voting for Democrats and Republicans, you have a real chance to vote for two really great people, Stacey Pressman and Chris. You have a great ideal. But not to get off topic here, like again, Chris, let me see, Christopher Scott Krietchman, he has done like many things. He knows how to innovate. He knows how to envision a society to make everyone's life better. He knows all that. He has the experiences. He has a good story, and he would also be an excellent mayor of New York City. And as well, part of let me see, the future vision of New York. We know that we can't have more of the same. We know that our society and the systems which it governs have been falling short with empty promises, corruption, efficiencies, and lack of transparency, communication, empathy, and hope. We need a new, fresh, youthful, willing, and optimistic approach with ideas of how to look at the city, the country, and the world, while still accounting for our unique and nuanced history. We have to harness all the obstacles, trials, tribulations, adversities, and accomplishments to piece together a realistic and sustainable, integrated, unified foundation for the future. A future based on hope, humanity, public health, and well-being and growth. A future where new ideas outside of the tried and true way can be tested and given the nourishment to possibly flourish and take hold. It's time for a more binding New York City ideology, one that can inspire a period of growth and transformation towards a beautiful future. We can have a better city sooner than we think, but we need a unifying belief or philosophy to get there. We also need to stay open-minded. Part of NYC's brilliance has been putting to use the collective cultural intelligence of all of our people. If we need to learn and implement best practices from other regions and countries, we should. We must stay inspired and open to new ideas for development. This is what will keep our city fresh, dynamic, and adaptive for the future. I'm willing to do what no one has done, but only speaks about. I have and will continue to be the person who put my money where my mouth is, and will be relentless and resilient as I've always seen. My plan is to take New York City from cruel to kind. I want to implement emotional economic reform to create a healthy society. This healthy mindset will create the environment for collaboration and innovation. We'll have humanities and cultural training along with citywide communication focused on empathy so that New Yorkers can understand other New Yorkers. Furthermore, we'll focus on economic innovation for all of our communications by implementing programs focused on for people, for city, for profit neighborhood innovation. We'll improve education by teaching wellness, financial, entrepreneurial, tech, creative, and political literacy. We'll reduce class size to one teacher for every 5 students, which will require the launching of a retraining program that will create more jobs for tutors and teachers work digitally. We'll make New York attractive for artists by having a subsidy programs. We'll also create an exchange system for work for equity via blockchain technology. We'll make New York green by reimagining buildings with gardens and parks integrated. We'll update neighborhoods by building with communities and help them prepare for future market shifts. New York will be attractive again. Did he just read my slogan? Reimagining buildings? Reimagining? Wow, that is just impressive. Honestly, my opinion, how do I say this? He has great ideas and great policies, like every other candidate, like Stacey Pressman. Everyone has great ideas to making their place, to making their city, to making their country or state better for all people. And honestly, in my opinion, he can also reimagine New York City. If it's either Stacey Pressman, if it is Christopher Krietchman, he will also reimagine. They will both reimagine New York City. It will depend who will be elected on November 2021. But he has really great ideas, and some things I do agree with. I think it's very important to actually have more of a healthy mindset to create like an environment for collaboration and division. That's important. We need more collaboration in today's politics. More collaboration, the better for us as a country. We need that in America more than ever, because if we have way more collaboration, and it's a win-win-win scenario for the American people, and that's impressive. That's important, where all parties are coming together and just collaborating, sharing their great ideas on fixing healthcare, on fixing immigration, on fixing so many issues that are plaguing our country. Everyone has great ideas, and so does Christopher Krietchman, and his ideas will bring New York back stronger than ever. That will reimagine New York City for generations, and I mean generations to come. And I'm not done here. Let me see. I'll leave that for you. I really want to get into some of his policies and where he stands on certain issues and how do we do it. Let me see. Okay, this is where some of his Christopher Krietchman for New York City mayor, some of his policies where he stands on basic rights, basic human rights and needs. When it comes to food, the problem is that he believes in that there are people going hungry in one of the richest cities in the world, from children to adults. We have a crisis of food insecurity. And his solution is to loosen restrictions on expired food disposals for all restaurants, grocery stores, and other food-based establishments. Allow edible food with a reasonable expiry time frame to be distributed to all local shelters. Let's go to equality. He believes it's like social justice, mental health, as well. On education, he believes in vocational training, re-education. As for tech, let me see. Uh, for public health and wellness, for healthcare, where he stands on it, we have our theater workers, hospitality workers, fitness instructors, and self-care workers who are struggling, who do not have health insurance, while still trying to make ends meet. Our city will treat causes, not symptoms. We will have a system for all New Yorkers to have access to preventative health measures, not just diagnostic testing, but actual lifestyle adjustments. Our current system does not afford everyone access to healthy lifestyles, and that needs to change. Healthcare must include Western medicine, alternative and integrated medicine, optical, dental, fitness, nutrition, mental health, and well-being. There must be free universal health coverage for all New Yorkers that is focused on delivering high quality care, which also not be for profit. And just like that, I would say he's very, very, very progressive. He's kind of like the Democrat candidate in a way. He's kind of like a little bit like Andrew Yang in some areas. So if you guys are Andrew Yang supporters, you might be interested in ranking him second. But it's entirely up to you. But he's just as a great leader as so many other people, just like Andrew Yang, just like Stacey Pressman, the Libertarian nominee. Everyone has great ideas, and based on all his policies, he's doing it to make everyone's life better, to make everyone's life fair and equal, where everyone has the pursue life that they want to live. And let's go into a little bit more. Let me see. I really want to find. Let me see. On education and jobs for scholastic education. I don't think I pronounced that right. He wants to modernize and reform how we educate through the use of technology, working to improve the virtual learning experience and environment with current realities. He wants to teach literacy in humanities, communication, and finance and civics. He wants to provide more attention to the students by reducing class size to 5 students for every teacher, which will also create jobs that people can be retrained for. As for infrastructure, we will approach New York City infrastructure with holistic and sustainable intentions, like green spaces, park and agriculture, transportation, roadways, public transits, city planning and zoning building, expand what is allowed in mixed-use properties. As for affordable housing for homelessness, he wants to implement a coordinated entry system that provides comprehensive prevention services and rehousing assistance via performance-based contracting for all New Yorkers. And as well, he wants to increase the supply of affordable apartments by legalizing ADUs, basement units, and redeveloping city-owned shelters as housing and converting vacant as of right buildings into low housing. And let's look at one more. And as for the economy and growth, he believes in legalizing marijuana and he wants to create tremendous tax revenue for New York City. That will create tremendous tax revenue for New York City. He believes sex work that should be legalized, as well. As for small businesses, he wants to have a little more. He wants to give them access to funding and other things to secure. And then as well, let's affordable. Let me see. Just one more thing. Let me see. As for United Democratic Organization, if reelected, please describe 3 programs and activities you would select as priorities for new or additional public funding. I think the third one I would put forward towards teaching and training all city workers including but not limited to the NYPD, FDNY, DSNY, DOD for psychology, sociology, humanities, communication, history, culture, world religion, education as part of a continued education program to help better the relationship between city agencies and the different communities with over 300 plus neighborhoods in all 5 boroughs of New York City. But overall, you guys, in the comment section below, what do you really think about him as a candidate? Would you, if you live in New York City, would you be considered voting for him as your next mayor? So this is some of his 10-point plans, and honestly, throughout his entire life, he has done so much things. Like what I've shared to you about in this video. He's a man of he knows a lot. He knows how to lead. He knows how to collaborate with everyone. He doesn't care who you are. He just wants to make life better for all people, and that is an important aspect of being a leader, to help build a better society for everyone. You're gaining, but overall, share your comments, share your thoughts about what do you think about Christopher Krietchman, or as a candidate for New York City. Would it be someone you would consider supporting and voting for on November 2nd, 2021? Remember, New York City will be the first time New York City is using ranked choice voting. So you can really rank the candidates in order of choice. So if you like him, maybe rank him as your first choice, and maybe if you like Stacey Pressman as your second choice, the Libertarian nominee, you might want to rank her as your second choice, but it's entirely up to you. But New York, show us how much of a big apple you are to reimagine the promise of America for generations, and I mean generations to come, by showing to all of America that the two-party duopoly will be defeated once and for all, and will transform this great, that will not just transform New York City into a land where it's for the people, by the people, and of the people, but we will reimagine American politics that will fundamentally break apart the two-party duopoly and will transform this country into a multi-party system. So let's together now, it will ultimately create a government that's truly by and of and for the people. But thank you guys so much for watching, and comment down below, and don't forget to comment down below and tell me your thoughts about his campaign. And would it be someone you would vote or support, or do you like Stacey Pressman better, or do you like Andrew Higgins better? It's clearly up to you. But if you really want real change, don't vote Democrat or Republican this November. Vote third party. Vote independent. Vote Stacey Pressman. Vote Christopher Krietchman. Vote third party if you really want to bring real change. And Christopher and Stacey Pressman, they both will bring positive and real change to New York City for generations, and I mean generations to come. But yet again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and share other third party candidates that are running for elected office. Because like what I said in previous videos, you never know, I can feature them on this channel. But until next time, guys, this is the Young Centrist, and I am out.